Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Thursday, the 4th of April. It's our 4th day of moving. Hopefully you're keeping up and enjoying it. Do give me your feedback. It's lovely to hear from you. I'm back in the Soul Pilates studio. So it's got an equipment studio downstairs and a mat studio upstairs. So if you've never been to Soul Pilates or tried equipment before, do come and check it out. Hi, Jess. So that's www.soulpilates.co.uk, and that's off Queen Square in Bristol. If you'd like to try some equipment, one-to-ones, classes with me and the rest of the team. There's a great amount of variety here for you to do. And so we're taking a little look at movement today, and I'm just in between teaching down at the studio. So we're going to start seated. So you're sat on both sitting bones, legs are crossed out in front of you, and just note how that feels. You want to lengthen through the spine and find the sitting bones to sit as tall as you can. That's that sense of feeling through the back of the body. And then whatever way you've crossed your legs, I want you to uncross them and cross them the other way. Because we'll have a preference. So you're just checking in about which way feels better. And then change it back. And then back again to the way that maybe doesn't feel so comfortable. And then remain seated here. Again, you can place your hands on your knees or the backs of your hands as well, palms up. And just find that length from your sitting bones, either side, through the back of the body, the back of the spine. That's it. And take a little moment here to find your breath, inhaling in through the nose and out through the mouth. I'm just looking forward. Hi, Mum. How are you? And then we're going to take a little look at what we call a Z-sit in Pilates. Now we use this quite a lot when we're doing mermaid, and it's really functional because it helps you find range in your hips. So you sweep one leg back behind you. So at the moment, you've got one leg in front and one leg back behind. And I'm not going to say front and back or right and left. You could mirror me and then kind of follow the movement. And you still want to find both sitting bones, and you might be slightly up on a hip. And if you were in a normal class, you'd have a block. But I want us to rock through that. So this back hip joint, I want you to yawn it open and notice that the body rotates. And then sit and soften back down. So all we're doing is asking this ball and socket joint to find a little bit more ease. And as that thigh bone is internally rotating, which is what it's doing, this one's slightly externally rotating and the pelvis is lifting up and moving round. And you notice that as you yawn open through this hip, the body rotates. And we see how our body's one big long chain. So you're easing through, and at the same time this hip's really getting a good old polish in that ball and socket joint. So hip mobility and hip range is really important. It's really good at some point in your day to just get down into the floor and just move and wriggle around, because it's not comfortable down there and you will move lots. Nice. And then you're going to switch it through. So you're going to rock back onto your pelvis, your sitting bones, send the legs around and switch through into the other side. Same thing, it might feel a little bit easier to sit on both sitting bones, but you just have your legs out in front, one in front and one back behind. So you're just in a Z sit. Same thing, there may be a little bit of space underneath that sitting bone. And all I want you to do is yawn open through that hip and notice as you lengthen, you find rotation and come back through, and you're just having a little move around. Same thing, this thigh bone is now internally rotating, this one is externally rotating, and the body itself is finding full rotation round from the pelvis to the top of the head. Great. And this might be all you do today, that's totally fine. Every day, just easing in and out of those hips, helping them find range, and note how it feels to sit here. Bring the legs back through to crossed, and note how it feels to sit in a crossed position now. Hopefully it feels a little bit easier. Sitting bones are lovely and wide, you can find length through the body. Excuse me. And again, change the crossing. Note how it feels in the hip joints, the hip flexors, through the back of the body, widen through the sitting bones, find length through the back of the body, the back of the spine. And come back into that Z sit for me. So we're keeping our focus on our hips. All I want you to do is flex this back foot, Keeping length in the spine, lift the knee up a little bit and back down. I tend to come into some sort of odd prayer position, but your hands could be anywhere. Now if you feel that just lifting that knee, the body wants to rock, you can stabilise by bringing the hands back behind you. The range is quite small, there's no denying that. But what you want is that it happens in an isolation. So you're kind of doing a bit of hip disassociation, allowing that ball and socket joint to move quite separately, as opposed to moving and the whole body rocking, because the range can't be found. The range is there, it's just you accessing it in slightly different ways. Great. And then you can soften and lengthen both legs out in front of you, have a little shake out, and come back into the Z-sit in the other direction. Again, you've got that yawn and that sit back down, but you could flex the back foot, keeping length from tailbone to the top of the head, and just allow this knee to pick up and down. So it's very small, because it can't go as far, the range is smaller, the movement's smaller, and that's okay. Again, feel free to just place the hands lightly, it's a fingertip touch, just to lengthen through the spine. Good. We've got lots of variations on this, so we'll take a little look at it when we do our side bending, and we're going to do some other hip work on different sessions. But this is often enough, and it feels quite intense sometimes. Lovely, and then bring the leg back through, find that cross-leg position. Note every time the body can figure out to find more length, you find more ease. So you want those joints to fold like a piece of paper, a piece of newspaper. If you think how easily it just folds and creases, can you allow that to happen in your hip joints as well? And then lengthen the legs out in front of you. So this is your long sit. You want to try and stay as long as possible through the body. Bend and soften. How does this feel? Bring your hands back behind you. You'll move a little bit back off your pelvis and just windscreen wiper the legs side to side. And notice how it feels through the hips. They might feel like they've moved and they've been engaged. You've gone a little bit deeper. Good. Come back through, send the legs out long. And we're continually accessing more range in the hips to help the rest of the body find more space when it sits, in particular when it sits and stands. So again, cross the legs. Change your crossing. Sweep this leg back behind you into your Z-sit. Note how it feels now. And then change your Z-sit. Could you change your Z-sit to switch the legs without using your hands? What needs to happen in the body? How does the body need to find balance? And you start noticing you almost go in a circle. The body rocks through and around. And you're stirring the pelvis over the top of those hip joints. And so it should be easier and easier. I think I'm moving further and further away from you. I might walk back a little bit to find that range. Now lengthen the legs out in front, keep them nice and soft, and just check in here. It's quite important that if you're sat at a long desk if you're sat at a desk for a long time or any period of time, that you get up and move around. So we know this, about every 20 minutes you want to have a shuffle, you feel like things are getting a bit stiff. If you're one of those people who is at a desk for their work for quite a long time, then you should have a hip range exercise for the end of your day or when you're at home watching TV. And the easiest way for you to access this is not to think, I have exercises. It's to find yourself down on the floor, turn TV on, watch TV, have a chat with someone, but do it on the floor with nothing behind you. And you'll note that you have to kind of sit up, you might slouch, you might move around, you might cross your legs, you might even come down onto your stomach, you might hang out, but you're continuously moving around your hips without you knowing it. And so you end up in lots of different positions without even having to do exercises at all. And sometimes that's the easiest way for you to access it. Sit down on the floor because it isn't comfortable and allow the body to continuously shift and shuffle as you attempt to watch your favourite programme for 20 minutes. But that should be enough to help those hips continuously find range, and we kind of then don't feel what we would say, maybe my hips feel tight, or I don't have enough range, or I can't access this, or something's pulling in my lower back, all of this movement, range and slack will feed up into your system, above and below, and that's what you want to maintain. So today, Z sits, cross legs, Z sits, flex foot, knee lifting is what you want to now add to your 20-minute Netflix watch tonight. And let me know how it feels afterwards. You'll be aware of them, but the more range you can increase in the hip joints, the better for the rest of the body. So enjoy a little bit of hip mobility today. I have a client arriving in 5 minutes, so I'm going to go just double check my notes and prep for her for one-to-ones, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care, guys.